I mean, my goodness, you would think the Lakers won the championship. The way all the celebration, the way all the talks are out there. You hear Magic Johnson talking. You hear, LeBron, gloating after the game. Like they actually won the championship by beating the Clippers. I mean, I understand they lost to the Clippers 11 straight times, but that's their problem. That's not the Clippers' fault. I mean, you got to be more competitive. You got to be more well-driven. You got to be more everything. Losing that many times to one team, especially a team that a lot of people say is the team in the basement, that's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. You know what I'm saying? So it really is. It's embarrassing if you ask me. The way Lakers fans and the way the Lakers are carrying this. I mean, you would think they won the championship now. I mean, it's very laughable, honestly. And I think the Clippers they're laughing at it more than anything else, because I don't see the Lakers beating them 11 straight times for 2 years or 3 years. So I mean, that's pretty embarrassing all on its own, especially if you're an organization like the Lakers who prides himself on being the best. And it's just crazy. But regardless, it was one of the best games I ever seen in a while, or at least in a few years. I mean, it was exciting from top to bottom. I mean, the way Kawhi came out that first quarter, it was amazing to watch him just go out there and drop big numbers like that. It really woke everybody up, I think. And that made the rivalry, the game, a lot more intense. It had a great playoff feel. And I love the game. I would love to see them in a 7-game series, as I've said, a few years ago, because those two teams really, came at each other with a dominance and a playoff atmosphere that we don't really see from any other team. Or matter of fact, that game itself had a better playoff feel than any of the playoff games that I've seen the last couple of years, honestly, because it was just intense. And, LeBron comes out after Kawhi scores 18 the first quarter. LeBron comes out, start doing his thing. Anthony Davis scored 27. Paul George came so alive in that fourth quarter and scored like 21 points in the fourth quarter. That was amazing, to see him do that, and brought them back and hit 3 free throws to put it into overtime. And unfortunately, he fouled out, but Kawhi hit some big shots in overtime. The and one, he hit that big 3 to cut it to like 1 or 2 points. I mean, they had a chance, what I'm saying? I don't know why Kawhi didn't take the last shot specifically, but, who knows with that situation, because to me, they have to find a way to get Kawhi the last shot, because he is the best player on the team. Or if he's not there, or if he doesn't have it, then you can also let Paul George take the last shot. But of course, he wasn't on the floor because he was, he got fouled out. But regardless, Kawhi has to take that last shot. That's just the way it is. And I just think their chances are a lot better. But shout out to Russell Westbrook. He played good too. He hit some big threes. He stayed motivated, engaged. He looked locked in, what I'm saying? And I feel like, against the Lakers, he had something to prove. And he played like that. And I really appreciate that. Overall, the team played really good. It was a good game. It was probably arguably the best game of the year so far. We have other games to come. And matter of fact, the Clippers and Lakers play again, later on in the season. So that game might even be even better. So regardless of it, it was a great game, and I really enjoyed that game. I really would love to see it again. I really would like to see it today. If they were actually able to play today against each other, that'd be great. I wish every game in the NBA played to that level of magnitude, and I think the games will start getting better in the NBA, because I think that game right there opened up Adam Silver's eyes to a sign of we need to figure out things to make this sport a lot better and a lot more formidable in the regular season, which is the reason why they're doing this like in-game, in-season tournament thing, which I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see how it works out. But either way, that was a great performance by both teams. I just think the Lakers are over-carrying it a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you won the game, great, but you still got like 75 more games to go. You know what I'm saying? You're not even close to where you want to be. And it took overtime to beat the Clippers when you were at home, and you did have LeBron, you did have AD, and regardless of they had Kawhi and PG, but it still took you to overtime to beat them when you had a substantial lead where you should have closed the game out, and it shouldn't even have went to overtime for it to get decided there. But I mean, I guess it took overtime really for Austin Reeves to wake up, because he pretty much struggled, most of the game up until the point where they needed him the most, which is good for him. But definitely it's just one game. It's one game, and the Clippers will move on from it, just like the Lakers should move on from it. And don't think you're on this all-time high because you beat a team that really you shouldn't have lost to for 2 or 3 years straight. It's no way possible. I can't even imagine losing to a team that long of a streak. I mean, you would have thought the Lakers gonna, have some confetti out there or something like that and find a championship to pull out the back of the locker room and hoist it up. I mean, it was so crazy, like listening to the commentators and everybody. But it just shows the hate towards the Clippers, but also it shows how good the Clippers are for them to dominate a team for 3 years, 2-3 years like that since the bubble. That shows how dominant they can be. And when you look at Kawhi and PG and what they did in that game, you're starting to really see the talent that we always known that they can have on the floor together, being together, and them being healthy. They are a force. I mean, they really are. Now, adding James Harden, hopefully that'll make the offense a little bit more fluid, more passing, instead of a lot of isolation, stagnant basketball. But I like what I saw overall with this team. Even in a loss, they still look very formidable, and they look like they're going to be a force to reckon with once they really put it all together. And adding James Harden, if he's buying in to the process like Russ did, then I mean the Clippers might have something, but he has to buy in. He has to be 100% into it, and they have to stay healthy. But with that being said, great game, wild game, wild ending, great playoff atmosphere. Can't wait to see it again. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments, and we'll talk about it.